Hello, hello, welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are going to be reading the last chapter in A Guide for Lightworkers by Archangel Michael, channeled and written by Saratoga Ocean. So finally, we are at chapter 21, and we are going to complete reading this book together, this video. So before we get started, I'll just remind you to take a moment to set your intention and your energy so that you can take this information in through your heart, okay, rather than your mind. So we are going to be reading chapter 21, and it's titled Light, okay? There is a great light emerging in your universe at this time. Some have referred to it as the light of the Christ. Indeed, it is that, but it is so much more. Christ is merely a word that has been assigned to it. This word will ultimately be seen as wholly inadequate once you understand what this light truly is. This light is what some have referred to as the light of the Father, the light of the Creator. In truth, it is the light of God itself. It is the light that shines ever so brightly in the real world of which I speak. You do not know what is behind this light, but you will. This light is so powerful and so filled with love that it influences the frequency of your entire universe. Perhaps you have felt it as a quickening of sorts. This light is the light that exists within your hearts. You don't know it yet because that light has been eclipsed by the source of fear, the first original lie, which all who live in this finite universe experience uniformly and collectively. It is what keeps you and everything you know locked within the dream. Now that your hearts are collectively awakening from their deep and ancient slumbers, that light is touching all of you. We angels want to encourage you to begin to wake up. The light of this gentle dawning of love shall cause you to remember. You may think that there is much hard work to do in order to correct your situation here. It is only because that is all you have ever known. You have tried to solve everything alone because alone is how you have felt. I have come to tell you that you are not alone. Soon you will realize that for yourselves. Do not try to force this awakening. No flower is ever served by ripping open its petals before their time. Allow this gentle light of love and infinite power to effortlessly coax your heart awake. In the same way that the early morning sun ever so gently shows its light at the edge of the earth's horizon and gradually awakens all of life. Allow this infinite light to apply its subtle touch of love and reassurance. You will ultimately not be able to resist this incredible light and the clarity it brings, just as you cannot resist the physical sight of morning's glory as the sun spreads its light across the land. Let me now forewarn you about some things that you can expect, lest these things confuse you and cause you to doubt the truth that is in your heart. The source of fear, or the principle known as the first original lie, is a phenomenon based on resistance. The more that the infinite expands in its radiating flow of celestial beauty and love, the more this phenomenon will resist that truth in order to continue its survival. Its survival is wholly dependent upon its ability to continue the lie that it is not any of this. Eventually, this phenomenon will deplete itself of all its energy. One can only remain not finite for so long. Its dying universe of illusion will eventually expire when this erroneous so-called creation fails to be able to maintain the facade. There are powerful forces of nature and evolution in the real world of infinite light and love that have already come to your assistance. As these forces of light act upon your situation, you will witness the death throes of this enormous beast. You will see its last-ditch efforts to intimidate you and convince you that it is more real than love. You will witness this in the form of war, hunger, and the dire consequences of its total infiltration in your overall experience. You will see death all around you while this beast does everything in its power to prove that it does exist. But fear not death, my beloved friends, your own or anyone else's, for as I've told you that it is all an illusion, including the so-called afterlife. Nothing shall escape the light as it illuminates all that is not real and causes it to disintegrate into the nothingness from which it came. If this sounds frightening or intimidating to you, I ask you to remember that you are already living this every day. In fact, you have been living this for thousands of years while human beings have continued to slaughter, torture, and destroy themselves and all that lives around them. Remember that what I have said to you is certainly nothing new. And now let us discuss your role in this amazing drama. If you have been reading this illustrious book, you must certainly consider yourself a light worker. At the very least, you may have been curious about it. Your first role shall always be that of love for yourself, your neighbors, your family, and your friends. Love for life itself in all of its forms. Please remember that when I say all of its forms. Sorry, I just lost my place. There we go. I am only referring to the truth of what life really is. It should never be confused with that which is anti-life, simply because it is there. Most of you already understand the importance of love as the basis of all else that you may do in order to serve this situation. But let us now address the context for that love so that you are able to enact a powerful paradigm shift in terms of how you see it. Prior to now, you have seen an act of love as a way to help yourself and others cope with each other's individual situations. But you have never effectively questioned the existence of the situation itself. I would now like to provide you with a brand new context for that love. This planet, this universe, and all of its inhabitants are on the verge and in the process of going through a massive transformation and transition into what will ultimately manifest as a gargantuan wake-up call. It will be difficult for some people. There will be people, animals, and plants on this planet that will require enormous levels of help. Rather than seeing your love as a balm to help cope them, try to see it as a powerful support for their own individual awakening. You do not have to say anything about this in words. In fact, it is sometimes better if you don't, lest it be reduced to a mere concept or belief system. Rely instead on the power of your own experience. Rely instead on the power of your enhanced vibration as a result of that experience. Allow the laws and principles of resonance to do their work as your vibratory field of knowingness influences that other person's consciousness in a wholly positive way. That's actually quite wise, because sometimes when you are telling people, things that you believe to be the truth, that's kind of how they take it, as more of you're just sharing your beliefs, you're pushing your beliefs on them. But when you don't say anything and you lead with your actions and a genuine heart, that does speak so much higher for itself. And I think would make somebody more inclined to want to feel that way, to want to be that way in a sense. Okay. When you are secure in that knowingness and you vibrate in unison with that ultimate truth that lives outside of this artificial realm of duality and illusion, you exist as an energy of peace. Your vibration communicates with absolute perfection the reality of that truth in a way that words can never hope to touch. The power of that vibration will touch that person's heart with a knowing remembrance of infinite love and tranquility. This is what people really need to feel. This is the hope that will contribute to individual awakening. Be a silent angel. For those of you who are already engaged in work of a higher order, which is intended to heal and protect this planetary sphere, raise your consciousness to a much higher level of love and light. Give up the belief that you are all in this mess together, and you are therefore going to help others in the context of the mess itself. See if you have the courage to be different. See if you have the fortitude to make a difference from a higher platform of experience. Again, you do not have to be able to talk about this directly. You can continue to do your work in the same basic way, but never underestimate the absolute power of any human being to influence the outcome when that human being is awake and aware of what is really going on, when that human being understands the difference between what is illusion and what is real. And most of all, take good care of yourself. You are not by any means a dispensable person. You are greatly needed. You are enormously appreciated for your sincere willingness to try. I and all others who care about this beautiful earth love you deeply for all of your efforts. Do not be discouraged whenever you feel that you may have failed. Instead, forgive yourself. Remind yourself that the appearance of failure is merely another symptom of why you are so committed in the first place. Whenever you feel that you want to cry because it may all seem so overwhelming, remember that there are many who have cried before you. There are many who forgot to seek solace in the comfort of their own eternal heart. You can change that. You can remember. And above all, remember that you are not alone. Your heart is filled with love, and it is always there to comfort you, inspire you, and give you hope. All you have to do is listen. Some may find that impossible to understand, particularly if they are filled with fear. If that is the case, find a quiet place. Play some music that tends to evoke a feeling of serenity and tranquility. Listen to the angels as they gently strum your heart. Remind yourself that if you are afraid, it is because something is telling you in that moment that fear is all there is. Your body is programmed to instantly react to fear to ensure its survival, but you are an infinite being. You have no worries whatsoever about things such as survival. Remember that fear is only a sensation, a chemical reaction in the body. It is like the worst drug you could ever ingest. Now take some very deep breaths. Notice how your breaths mimic the wave action of Earth's beautiful oceans. Even the sound of your breath moving in and out is very similar to that of the sea as its waves gently caress the shore. Feel the tranquility of this beautiful eternal motion as it plays out again and again in your own body, reminding you of the joy of infinite life, reminding you of the yin and the yang of all creation. See your breath as the gateway to your heart. Tell your body that everything is okay as you open the door to your eternal presence. Listen to what your heart wants to tell you without the filter of your thinking mind. Let your mind rest as you bathe in the light of your eternal self. There is no higher self anymore. Your whole self is here with you right now. The self is already home. Now let that self tell you what that home is like. Let it describe for you the ineffable beauty, the brilliant color, and the color of every softness and hue. Let it describe to you a world without fear, and most importantly, know that this is true. Allow the peace of this understanding to wash over you like a soothing balm of hope to your formerly battered consciousness. A consciousness that thought that the only thing that existed was the perpetual battle to survive. If you find it difficult to imagine that you could do all of this, remember that the source of that apparent difficulty lies in the fact that you have never listened. Your habit has been to shut down what your infinite heart is trying to tell you out of fear that it could be wrong, out of a fear that it might destroy the entire world of your illusion, and it would, and you would therefore be happy for the first time. What is really afraid of this destruction? Only that which has created the illusion of destruction in the first place. And finally, remember your angels. Remember your friends. There are powerful forces throughout this real universe who love you, who are always there for you, and we ask that you just meet us where we live. Why is this? Because it is also where you live, if you could only remember. There is no fear here, only love. I adore you and I bless you for all eternity. Your beloved Archangel Michael. And then right here is the epilogue, which looks like it is something from Archangel Michael and your beloved angels. Beloved friends of earth, we are here to aid you, and forever have we loved you from afar. Be not in distress as you witness your planetary sphere seeming to fail all around you. Your real planet Earth, the paradise that you seek, awaits. Come home. Come home and witness the truth of who you are. See the ineffable joy of the real universe that lives in love. Awaken from your millennia-old slumber. Awaken from your dream of death and destruction, none of which truly exists. Call upon us whenever you need reminding. Call on us whenever you need love. We are your inter-universal friends and comrades. We are here for you, to the light, forever and ever. Our eternal blessings are yours to keep. We adore who you are, and we adore why you are here. Beloved ones, we await you. That was a really wonderful read. I know I gained a lot from it. I hope that you did too. I try not to share too many of my opinions or thoughts on what I'm reading and what the author is saying, simply because I'm just here. I want to read the book to you. I want you to gain from it what you feel you need to gain from it, whether it's one thing or 100 things. But I don't want to influence anybody because we all perceive things differently. Our truth is our truth, and it's pretty tough to talk people out of that, nor do I want to. But I do find this book to be challenging some of the truths that I had taken on as my own. And I actually, even though I thought that those other truths in my mind made sense about why we're here and, why would God choose us to have these experiences, I kind of really love this because it's not a coping mechanism they're offering. It's not putting a Band-Aid on it. It's like how to stop it so that you can live the way you were intended. And that is in joy and love and divine light and being, because that is what we all are. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this book. I'm very excited to read my next book to you, however. It is a subject that is dear to my heart. It has helped me immensely in my evolution, my journey, I guess you could say. We're going to be reading about the violet flame. And there's a million things I could tell you about it. I've read many books on it, but this is more of a beginner's book, but I guarantee you I'll still learn some things from this. And even people who are very, very, they know about the violet flame. It's something they're familiar with. But this changed my life for the better in many, many ways. And if you're interested in learning more about this, please join me for my next segment of videos on the violet flame. This is a more of a beginner's guide, which I think is always nice to start with. And if people are interested, I think I probably have at least 6 or 7 other books in all ranges, of how much you may know or how little you may know about it. But I hope that you guys do join me for this next reading, because I'm very excited about it. And I hope that, if you feel that this resonates with you, if there's a tug somewhere, maybe it's time for you to learn a little bit about what can help you in this journey, because it is related and connected to this. So, yeah, I hope that you guys join me. And until next time, take care of yourself, take care of those around you. And if you feel so inclined, please like, subscribe, and comment. I will see you for the next round, for the next book very soon. Bye-bye.